Time for Thaiger Bites on a Friday as we check your comments on our various platforms. Jay, plenty of comments. We get around about 400 to 600 comments on our various platforms.
That's right, Tim.
So there's no way we're going to get through all your comments every day, but we've got around about 15 today.
That's right.
Do you want to kick off?
Sure. So I have my first comment here from MP, who suggests that, can you do a Thaiger After Dark episode where Jet, Jay, and Tim get hammered and let loose?
Probably no.
I mean, that sounds fun. And
well, I don't drink alcohol, so I don't know, not sure how I'm going to get hammered.
Yeah.
But the three of us perhaps cruising Pat Pong one night would be an interesting video, to say the least.
Just Thaiger let loose, all the comments out.
As long as I can be home by 10, that's okay.
It's either going to be amazing or just a total nightmare.
I think it'd just be boring, as far as I'm concerned anyway. Not sure about these two. And yeah, Jet, by the way, he was back on Thailand News yesterday.
Yep.
He had a bout of dengue.
He did.
But he was one of the people who have had dengue before and have had a vaccine
That's correct.
that kept his symptoms very mild this time.
Yep.
And so he was only out for 2 days, but he's still not 100%. I have to say that I'm not 100% either. I've having a relapse of shingles. So not very pleasant, but I'm here. Let's go to My Life Thai, and he's come up with an interesting sort of perspective on the vaccines. He says the Prime Minister, talking about the Thai Prime Minister, needs to quit making empty promises of opening the country. Thailand needs to treat the situation like the USA did in World War II. The USA government had all the private manufacturers like Singer sewing machines convert their factories to make guns for the war. So Thailand needs to give the recipe for COVID vaccine to all the manufacturers and labs in Thailand so they can all start mass producing the vaccine in the country. Well, My Life Thai, I can see a lot of really goodwill in what you're saying. I'm not really sure if you could go to the manufacturers, many of the manufacturers in Chachongsao and Chonburi who manufacture cars and say, we just turn around tomorrow and start making vaccines.
Yeah.
There's probably only a very few number of qualified labs in the country that are actually in any sort of situation where they can produce vaccines. But I like the idea of sort of the war effort. Let's knuckle down and get these vaccines out. Whatever reason there seems to have just been a really slow rollout. And every time they keep on saying we've got all these vaccines coming, more vaccines coming.
Yeah.
They never seem to arrive.
And they never seem to give a set date, which is just even more frustrating because, they were slow to react. They should have let private hospitals actually order these vaccines, but no one was really allowed.
Well, the private sector have just got a different motive, and whatever that motive is, if they were able to get the vaccines, even if they were charging for it, at least it's people's choice and they could have become vaccinated. But up to now, there's very few private hospitals who are able to offer a vaccination. All right, another one from you.
Yes, Tim, I have actually a message from our number one fan, Joffrey. Joffrey's back, and he says, get rid of the old ladies Blue Hair Brigade 1980s theme music, please. Thank you, Joffrey, for the politeness. Glad Bill is gone.
Okay.
He's also a fan of Bill, I see.
Which particular part of the program? Is he talking about the opening music?
I think he's talking about the opening music of Good Morning Thailand. Yeah.
Okay. How does he describe it? Blue hair...
Old Ladies Blue Hair Brigade 1980s theme music.
All right.
Well, Joffrey, I can firstly assure you that it's from 2020. To which actually Jay Davies commented on his comment saying, well, what a little bundle of sunshine you are. To which I agree. So, Joffrey, I suggest, again, if you sign up to be a Thaiger member, which we would love to have you join the Thaiger family, as my first act, with the money that you spend, I will change the music of Good Morning Thailand.
In fact, we'll let him choose the music.
Oh, God, no, Joffrey. I can't promise you that, but Joffrey, you can be the difference.
Saranya Ratanon says, did I get all that right? Yes. I saw a guy on YouTube and he was saying to take a garlic pill every day, as once that's in your body, the mozzies, alluding to the mosquitoes, mozzies I think is a very Australian slang, don't like the scent that comes out of your skin. Give it a try. There's a lot of herbal remedies for trying to get rid of mosquitoes, and it seems that mosquitoes like some people more than others. Do you attract mosquitoes?
Not so much.
I'm sort of in the middle.
Yeah.
But I've had partners in the past who are just like mozzie magnets. Mm-hmm. So, there are some different ideas. The Thaiger has got the top 10 ways of avoiding being bitten by mosquitoes. I think it's a video, and also it's at thethaiger.com. So if you type in top 10 mosquitoes, dengue, you'll find that Thaiger article, which has got some approved ways of avoiding mosquitoes. That's the best way to not get dengue, is to avoid being bitten.
But have you ever heard of a garlic pill? I mean, thanks for the comment, Saranya, but, I don't think that's the only thing it will not attract. If you have a garlic pill and smell like garlic, it's not just the mozzies who will run away from you.
Everybody will run away from you. Okay, another one.
Right, I have a comment here from Mark Swinney, who says, AirAsia could use drones to deliver food. Thais would love that. So I guess Mark is talking about how AirAsia has now started its delivery service in Thailand, delivering food, and that they could use drones. I don't know how effective it would be. Some of the buildings in Bangkok are extremely tall. Imagine flying a drone up to like the 40th floor.
Well, you could come straight in through the window. You wouldn't have to worry about coming up the elevator.
I guess, but then...
In that case, would they be called drivers, riders, or pilots?
Pilots. I would go with pilots.
There we go. Udon Wanisiprasertpon says, the Thaiger is Thai government support channel. Let me just make it quite clear that the government does not tell us what we publish. If you've had a look back through the Thaiger and some of our editorials on YouTube or thethaiger.com, we've been quite critical of the government from time to time. We're not pro or anti-government. From time to time we do editorialise, but we clearly mark that as such. The Thai government's never given us one single baht. Indeed, we pay quite a lot of tax from the profits that we make at the Thaiger as a Thai business. We're operating in Thailand, although headquartered in Singapore. So to say that we support the government just because we report what they say does not mean that we're supportive or pro-government. Yep. So we deny that allegation, Udon.
Right. I'm moving on with a comment from Barton Walters, who says...
Barton. Barton Walters. Hello, Barton.
Yeah. Just sipping a cup of tea.
Yes, from the well-known lawyers Barton, Martin and Fargo. Barton, Martin and Fargo.
Would you like to taste a little bit of my scone? Love the name, by the way. So apologies if you're offended. Barton says, Tim, are you aware that you rock back and forth when standing and giving the news? Sometimes you go side to side, but mostly you go back and forth. It feels like you're giving the news from a ship on the water.
I think that's ridiculous. I've never had any signs of rocking backwards and forwards, either side to side or forwards and backwards. I've never done that, so I reject that. I think Barton's actually written to us a few times saying that I do a lot of things wrong. I and ah too much, and I'm not professional. So keep it up, Barton. We enjoy reading your comments, and we'll try and be better for you next time.
Scallywag. Spicy Roads says, I'm really interested in high water pressure versus grenade technology. Now, Spicy is referring to the story where a grenade was found near a politician's house and someone tried to use a water gun against it. So, Spicy, it's not just you. Me and Tim have also looked in the technology that is involved in water pressure being effective against a blow from a grenade.
The explosive ordnance people were using high pressure water as a method to disarm the grenade. Now,
was it to disarm, or was it maybe to get it away, perhaps? Yeah, just don't touch it. Just use the water gun.
Shoot it
push
away.
It away. Yeah,
I'm not sure. I suppose if anything like that gets wet, like any other sort of device that gets wet, it can make it less functional or completely dysfunctional. Maybe completely saturating a grenade does make it ineffective. Maybe it's a great idea.
Yep.
It just looked or sounded a bit funny when we read it in the news the other day.
Yep.
And from Todd McGlarty, who says, wow, the double CSA is losing credibility. Sputnik, as they call it, isn't approved by the WHO. Sputnik 5 being, or Sputnik V, is the
COVID-19 vaccine from Russia.
And Sputnik users are not allowed to travel to many other countries. CSA just revealed their hand. So throwing in a little bit of conspiracy theory into his comments, perhaps suggesting that the Russians are paying the Thai government to allow the Russians in. Well, both the Russians and the Chinese, who were very numerous in their tourists coming to Thailand in the past, have not been coming to Thailand as part of the Sandbox reopening. So the TAT is very keen for the people from Russia and China to return to travel soon. I don't think that's going to be delivering many numbers in the short term, but certainly in the long term, obviously those particular populations would add a lot to our tourism numbers. Is that it?
I have one last comment here from Larry, who actually further proves your point about drivers and riders. So Larry Connell says, drivers or riders? Well, with AirAsia participating now, we'll obviously call them pilots, especially if they use drone pilots. I mean, how impressive would that sound? Like, yes, it's nice to meet you. I'm Jay. I'm a pilot for AirAsia. They don't need to know if it's a drone. A pilot is a pilot.
I think Amazon in the US have been doing some tests with drones delivering things. I can foresee a lot of problems with weather, distance. Drones sometimes just sort of go their own way.
Yep.
So maybe the technology isn't quite there yet, but maybe in the future we'll see more things delivered by drones.
And there is skill involved in flying a drone. I mean, anyone can fly a drone. Yes, just like anybody can scuba dive, anybody can skydive, but there's levels to this.
And the problem also when you're closer to airports, like we're about 10 kilometres away from the Phuket airport, drones are not allowed to fly. As you get closer to the airport, they have to keep lower and lower.
Yep.
Not that there's many big buildings around here anyway,
Yep.
but something we might see more of in the future. All right, Jay, that's our comments for the week.
That's all I have for today.
Thank you very much for commenting on the Thaiger, our various platforms, thethaiger.com, our Facebook page, Thaiger Talk, and our YouTube channel. But from all of us at Thaiger Bites and the Thaiger, thanks for joining us. You're up to date.